Welcome to this simple acrylic tutorial. Today I'm painting women and friendship. So what we need today is our acrylics. We have a blue, white, yellow, gold, black, and red. The brand of acrylics is really up to you. In the description you have the list of everything I'm using, and of course I'm using my 3 brushes. For the past 3 years I've been giving painting workshops, and that's what we use in my workshop, so I keep it simple. You're welcome to use whatever other brushes you'd like. A cup of water, some paper towel, of course. In the description you have a link to print the stencil to make this outline possible, and that's what makes this a simple acrylic tutorial, because if you didn't have the stencil and you had to draw these ladies, it would be a little bit harder. But anyway, just print your stencil, get your carbon paper, and I'm using a 16 by 20 canvas. So my first step is to mix the colors for the background. So I'm going to start painting the sky. I'm starting with kind of a vanilla yellow, like light yellow color. So just add a little bit of yellow to your white and a few drops of water. When you do your brush strokes, I'm using my shoulder to kind of guide my hand, because if you just do it with your hand you might end up with a rainbow, kind of an arc. So using your shoulder and staying aware of how you want your brush stroke to just glide from side to side, so you have kind of straight line, unless you want to do a rainbow type background. That's totally up to you. I just added a little bit of red to create a light orange, and I'm just continuing to paint just like horizontal brush strokes going side to side. Now with a little bit of yellow I'm smoothing out my transition, so I'm starting from the orange going up to the yellow. It takes a little while for your acrylic to dry, so you have time to play with your transition so that you just make them a little smoother and just add a little bit of darker tone. Right now I'm just making my color about 2 shades darker than our initial yellow, so it's just a very smooth kind of palette of color. I'm not doing anything with my colors right now that's too different. It's a very soft transition, and I'm adding a little bit more yellow, just very sporadically. Of course your background is going to look a little bit different. There's no way to reproduce exactly what I'm doing, but that's what makes it fun. So now I'm just mixing a light, like kind of a lilac color. So I just added, I rinsed my brush really carefully so I don't have any yellow left in my brush, and I just added a little bit of blue and a tiny bit of red. Just test your color first, and if you like it, just apply the color starting about an inch below your light orange, and then I glide upward, and I'm going to stop about an inch from where the dock, the ladies are sitting at the edge of a dock. So you just leave a little bit of space, about an inch from that line, because we want to do the ocean. Now I'm adding a little bit of blue because I want to create the water. So I'm applying the blue directly onto my light lilac, and I'm just gonna go and outline just around the dock where they're sitting. And as you can see, I'm painting over the silhouettes. It's just to allow the flow of your brush strokes to to be easier, because if you start out outlining everything, it just wouldn't look like what we're trying to achieve. So now a little bit more red in the blue, just to create kind of a red purple, and I'm gliding the side of my brush along the edge of the canvas just to create a little beachy look, a little frame. And then with a dry brush, I just remove the excess paint, and I'm just kind of going over the blue because I lost a little bit of the silhouette. I didn't want the blue to be too dark. So by adding a little bit of water to your brush and almost using a dry brush, I go back and forth, side to side, removing some of the paint. And now with the light violet color, just wanted to warm up or just put some interesting colors in the sky. So I'm just doing very small brush strokes on the edge. I'm going to come back to the sky in a little bit. Right now I'm just adding a little bit of purple. This step is optional. If you want more of a simple painting, you could totally skip the purple in the sky because it was pretty also before. I like the purple, but really it's up to you. So with a little bit of water and your small brush, just add a few drops in your black, and you just start painting. It's almost like, just color blocking. So outlining and just painting some of the hats, and I'm just kind of starting from the right. It would also almost make more sense if you're right-handed to start from the left, but because I'm filming and I need to stay out of the picture, you don't want to see the back of my head, I'm starting on the right side. But usually if I was painting and not filming, I would start with my left, the silhouette on the left. So take your time and just go over every single line. So I finished pretty much going over all the guidelines with my small brush. So now I'm using a medium brush, and I created the dark color with a little bit of red, blue in black. So adding white just created a kind of a purple gray. You're welcome to, again, do whatever color you'd like. If you wanted to do more of a brown, you can totally do that. Again, using maybe burnt amber and add some white, a little bit of yellow to it. So that would be more of a wood, like a warmer wood. I just kind of wanted to give it more of a distressed look. So I went with more of a gray. I added the color and painted over the wine glass, but I still see the outline, so I'll be doing that. I'll be retracing the glass of wine. I also went over the birds with some just very thin lines of. I used my plain black for that. So now I'm just painting the hats, the tops of the two of the hats white. And going back to painting my silhouettes, I'm painting the dresses black. You know what's fun about following a tutorial like today? It's really a simple acrylic tutorial because of the fact that you traced your outline, and it's really almost painting like numbers right now. So these women and friendship is a great theme. I'm sure you've noticed if you have painted with me and looked at my other videos, there's women almost in all my paintings. And when I did this stencil, it was for a special event. Some women asked me to create this stencil with 4 ladies, because initially the original stencil has 3 women, but they wanted to celebrate one of their friend who was starting some treatment. So it was a celebration of life and friendship. So I did this especially for them. It was a beautiful night. I just had so much fun painting with them. So for me, women and friendship, it's such an important part of my life, an important part of my business, my local painting workshop business. I feel really blessed to be able to paint with women and offer this service of painting workshops, and also bringing this online. For me, it's an extension of what I do here locally. And it's very time consuming to do videos, but I don't even think twice. It's just what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And if you're watching this and you're going through a hard time, just remember your girlfriends, get in touch, ask for help. And you can even organize a paint night and play my video and just paint together. So also what's fun about this simple acrylic tutorial is that you can change the colors. You can make the dresses a dark blue. You can do, make one of the women with a red dress. You could even do whites. You can change whatever colors to kind of, be creative. I added a little bit of white over my birds because I just thought they were standing out a little bit too much. I wanted them more in the background, so I just added a little bit of white over them. So I like it better, but again, you don't have to do that. You can keep them black. And I'm creating the hair color. One is gonna have red hair. I'm going to do an orange braid, some black hair, so you can play with whatever hair color you'd like to do. Even the hairstyle, if you want to just do just the women with the hats without hair, I think it would look very pretty. So I mixed a little bit of yellow and red to create an orange, and then going over the braid with a little lighter yellow. And I'm creating a darker purple to do the shadowing. To do the shadowing, don't hesitate with your brush stroke. Just really be very spontaneous and work quickly with your small brush to just go back and forth and just create those little waves of an impression of the shadow. It doesn't even have to be exactly like this. You can make different a little lighter shadow would be fine. I'm gonna just kind of play with these the shadows for a little bit, just adding a few different colors. From dark purple, I'm gonna use a little blue, white, and even a little flesh tone, light yellow. But right now, let's go to the sides of the painting where I'm creating some kind of like ferns of leaves on this very fine kind of wispy brush strokes. So just create as much or as little as you'd like. Keep your brush stroke really light, and it's okay to see the grain of the canvas. And in terms of adding those little petals or leaves, I just kind of press down with my small brush and it creates the shape of the leaves. So just kind of go from left and then right. Just kind of move your wrist, pressing down with a little bit of paint, not too much, and you're going to create those small leaves. Again, if you want to keep your painting a little more simple, you can totally skip the flowers and just leave it the way it is. Now I just mixed a little bit of my orange with some white to create the look of, it's almost like it looks wet behind them, so they would have walked to the edge of the little dock there to sit down, and it's wet behind them, so it's almost like a shadow, but also I wanted the shadow or like behind them to look a little bit more, wet. Now I'm adding blue. It just helps with the composition of the painting. So it's the blue that I used for the water, and I'm just very lightly adding little brush strokes here and there. I'm just going to do some waves. I'm holding my paintbrush very lightly and using very little paint. I decided to add more of the blue on the flowers. So I'm just doing some detailing in the hat, and to do the little lines like that, just make sure to hold your brush very lightly, and again, just when you do your brush stroke, lift your brush so that you get the wisp at the end. See how I lift my brush? Lift. You could practice if you want on the back of your canvas or on like a practice canvas that you can just practice your brush strokes so that you get that technique. I'm continuing to paint the hair. Now I'm using gold to do some stripes in one of the woman's dress. If you look at the background, you see another painting that's similar, and look at the little polka dots in the dress. So you can do that. Those are lavender polka dots, and on one of the hats I also did polka dots. So you can totally do that, and instead of doing the stripes you can do polka dots or even flowers. That would be cute too. I'm freely adding little brush strokes here and there just to break up some of the lines going horizontal, and just just adding little playful brush strokes here and there. I was going to do the hair blue, but then I thought I changed my mind, so I'm going to actually paint over it and just make the hair black. Now I'm adding I think it's a mojito on the right and a glass of wine on the left. Touching up some of those outlines. You can use a paint pen if you have a hard time using a brush. You can totally use a black or a dark gray paint pen. So here we go. I just decided to go over the hair and make it black and simplify it a little bit. So when I used the dark gray to paint the dog, I totally went over the glass of wine. So I retraced and added the red inside the glass. You'll see that when I show you the final picture. So this is the original painting. You can see the colors are different. I did the body of the lady's white. You have that stencil as well. This is the one I just finished. Added the glass of wine, and I changed my mind and did a little polka dot in the dress. And this is the one I did with the women at my studio. You can see the different colors. I used more purple. I just wanted to show you more options. And again, the bodies are flesh tone, so you can do that as well. Hey, why don't you subscribe to my channel and give me a like if you enjoyed this video. Stay for a while and enjoy some more videos. They're here on the screen. Connect with me on Twitter and Instagram at Paint with Nat. Until my next video, stay creative. Bye.